From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, August 7th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Hackers hijacked Google's Gemini AI with a poisoned calendar invite to take over a smart home. Wired has a new report on security researchers who are demonstrating indirect prompt injection attacks by hiding prompts for Gemini in Google Calendar items. At Black Hat this week, they reported how these prompts could cause Gemini to do things like raise your smart blinds or start a Zoom call every time you say to Gemini, thanks. The researchers informed Google of the methods in February, and Google has since deployed mitigations. Nvidia rejects U.S. demand for backdoors in AI chips. Nvidia is rejecting some U.S. lawmakers' calls to add backdoors or kill switches in its AI chips, saying that the measures would create security vulnerabilities. Chief Security Officer David Reber Jr. said in a blog post that hardware-level controls without user consent, quote, would violate the fundamental principles of cybersecurity. These comments follow proposed U.S. legislation that would mandate tracking and remote disabling features in AI chips. Google says hackers stole its customers' data by breaching its Salesforce database. Google says hackers linked to the Shiny Hunters group breached one of its Salesforce databases containing small business contact information. While only basic and largely public data was taken, the attackers used voice phishing to gain access and may be preparing a leak site. The breach is the latest in a string of Salesforce-related incidents, following attacks on Cisco, Qantas, and Pandora. Pandora confirms third-party data breach, warns of phishing attempts. Speaking of Pandora, the jewelry maker, with no relation to the music platform Pandora, confirmed a third-party data breach exposing customer names and email addresses, but said that no sensitive data like passwords or payment info was accessed. The company says it hasn't seen signs of the data being leaked, but is warning customers to watch for phishing attempts. Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. That's threatlocker.com/CISO. Microsoft researchers bullish on AI security agent, even though it let 74% of malware slip through. Microsoft unveiled Project Ire, an AI-powered reverse engineering tool that uses LLMs to analyze unknown software and determine if it's malicious. In testing, it accurately flagged 89% of the malware it detected, but only caught 26% of all malicious files. Microsoft says the system is still a prototype and plans to integrate it into Defender as a binary analyzer. Experts say the low detection rate and false positives show that AI can't fully replicate traditional methods, but will be crucial as attackers increasingly use AI themselves. Phishers abuse Microsoft 365 to spoof internal users. Attackers are exploiting Microsoft 365's Direct Send to spoof internal emails and bypass security filters, tricking users with phishing messages that appear legitimate. The method avoids authentication checks and has hit over 70 U.S. organizations, mostly in finance, healthcare, and manufacturing. Experts recommend disabling Direct Send, enforcing DMARC, and using email header stamping to block these attacks. Fake VPN and spam blocker apps tied to Vextrio used in ad fraud, subscription scams. A cybercrime group tied to Vextrio has been distributing fake VPN, spam blocker, and utility apps via Apple's App Store and Google Play, masking them as legitimate tools. These apps trick users into pricey subscriptions, bombard them with ads, and harvest personal data. Behind the scenes, Vextrio runs a massive ad fraud operation using a network of fake companies, traffic distribution systems, and cloaking tools to steer victims to scam sites. The group's operations span dozens of countries and involve over 100 shell companies. Akira ransomware abuses CPU tuning tool to disable Microsoft Defender. Akira ransomware operators are using a legitimate Intel driver in a bring-your-own vulnerable driver attack to disable Microsoft Defender. Once loaded, it installs a malicious driver that modifies Defender settings via the registry to disable protections. This tactic has been observed in multiple incidents since mid-July. Akira has also been linked to SonicWall SSL VPN exploits and uses SEO poisoning and fake software installers to spread Bumblebee malware, establish persistence, and deploy ransomware across networks. Security researchers recommend close monitoring and using only official download sources. If you have thoughts on the news from today or about the show in general, be sure to reach out to us at feedback@CISOseries.com. We would love to hear from you. I am Sarah Lane reporting for the CISO series, and we'll talk to you next time.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to CISOseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.